Hi there. Gnosticism and the seven-headed beast. Some Gnostics said they could worship the beast, sort of like tantric blowout. You follow all the things above, all the heads of the beast, and blow out one by one like a candle. I'm not so sure that you can or should. I think if you play checkers with the beast is going to win. I think the bank always wins when you go to Las Vegas. All is vanity, as it says in the Bible. I mean, when I think of myself, the only reason I do anything is to demonstrate that I'm the best person in the whole room, in the chat room, in the network room. I've got to be the best, because obviously that's the opposite of what I actually feel, which is I'm the worst. I'm the person that has least value. So all is vanity. That's the reason for my vanity. And then all is distraction. I certainly can't follow anything through. Like the moon in Aquarius, it all just sort of drifts into starts and stops and doesn't get back up again. So I'm easily distracted, that's for sure. I've always never been very good at concentrating. And now I'm joining a whole culture where people have a concentration of about 3 minutes. All is superficiality. You could say to me, well, there's no joy in your model. There's no happiness. There's no pleasure. There's no good times. There's no drinking with friends and dining out. But that's also superficial, isn't it? And people talk about superficial things and sort of fatic communion. How's the weather and how's your father? It's all superficiality. It's all people being vain, believing themselves to have to say something smart in order to be the best person in the room. All is futility. Yeah. It's all temporary. That's another quality. Futile because it's temporary. I mean, superficiality is one thing, but it's the impermanence of all things, as the Buddha said, that makes everything futile. It makes all our struggles and desires and ambitions, ultimately, they're futile. You can't take them with you. All is restriction. That is for certain. All is for, that you have, you can't do what you like. I mean, we're imprisoned in causality for a start, in scarcity. And I suppose what follows from that is all this frustration. I think I wanted to put frustration leading from futility and restriction, actually. I don't think it deserves a separate head, because it's sort of the effect of realizing that all is futility and all is restricted and restriction as you go into frustration and aggression, manipulation, exploitation, and predation. I think what I should have put here was temporary, impermanent. That would be in the other head, really. And then finally, all is cruelty. I just thought, well, look around the world, look around at yourself and see how cruel that you are to other people, and see how cruel everybody has been to you, and how cruel everybody is to each other. Um, and certainly, this is a picture of the seven-headed beast. That is the beast of this world. This is what this world is, and all is ultimately, ultimately all pertains to the characteristics that are listed above in the seven heads, and this is what you have to work with. Well, you don't. I mean, you can't work with it. You can only go into spontaneous introspection and introspect and contemplate the seven heads of the beast, and what they actually mean, and without being distracted. I mean, without thinking there is any gold anywhere. It's all black. There are 50 shades of black, really, and that's all there is. All there is in this world. So the meditation that you go into, if you can, if it comes to you spontaneously, is something really completely other. But as I said before, it's the meditation, the introspection. I don't think is even the method. I think there's something else that has to happen in order for your consciousness to interface between this world and the supernal worlds. It's like something has to happen in order for your consciousness to go from one state to the next. And of course, since everything is impermanent, it obviously can't stay there. Like an electron is kicked up to a higher electron field, and it has to come back down again, and it emits a spark of light, which is of course follows Planck's law. And I mean, you know, these little sparks of light with people fleetingly getting access to the supernal worlds. But still, there has to be something that interfaces, and it has to interface without going into superficiality, vanity, distraction. And I don't really see, well, I don't consciously see how that can possibly happen. Everything is tainted, so this consciousness that we have is tainted. So you're asking a tainted thing to achieve an untainted state. And I really don't see consciously how this can actually happen. But perhaps that is the whole idea, is that there isn't a conscious way of attaining freedom from the seven-headed beast. It has to be an unconscious thing, or not even an unconscious thing. It has to be something which is totally other. The Gnosis transcends all ideas about Gnosis, because all ideas about Gnosis must pertain to the seven-headed beast. So it is a mystery, obviously, in the very real sense of the word mystery, mysterium, which I think has got something to do with the Eleusinian mysteries as well. Or was it one of the grades of the priesthood? I'm not sure. Oh no, it's one of the it's people that had seen the mystery of the Eleusia were called Mysterium, I think, if I can remember rightly. I should look that up, but I didn't. I was just remembering from my books, which is probably a bad idea. Anyway, so this is the mystery of the seven-headed beast, as it were, that you have to transcend it in such a way that either it doesn't notice that you've transcended it, or more importantly, you haven't noticed that you've transcended it. And yet it has. And I suppose actually, when you practice the piano, after a while they say that you haven't noticed how much better you've got. You're playing stuff, and you go to your teacher and they say, gosh, you are practicing every day because you are actually getting better, and you don't even know you are. It takes somebody else, the teacher, to see that in fact you have improved. Same with language, same with mathematics, same with music. Somebody else has to notice that you've actually improved, because you certainly haven't noticed, and you can't notice really, can you? But I don't know if that's any clearer. I think that possibly is a distraction. Even those words, even that description, even that simile. I don't believe that either. Really, it's something even beyond just learning to practice the violin or something. I don't think that's comes near to it either. Really, because that's all temporary, isn't it? And vanity and superficiality. I mean, however deep you go into a piece of music, you're never going to get to the deepest level. You're not even going to transcend the notes that are already there, really. There's always going to be something that you could develop more of, even from the score itself. So I don't know really what the answer is. The seven-headed beast and Gnosis. The seven-headed beast and Gnosis.